بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. Would you check the voice? Okay. We will continue discussing this principle, this maxim, which is basically asalatu as-sahha, the principle of validity, states that we have to assume that the work and the conduct or the worshipping or the work of a Muslim is considered sahih, valid. And it is divided into two parts. One of them is ibadat, worshipping. So if someone is fasting, paying his dues, praying, going to Hajj, to Umrah, we assume what he did or she did is sahih, is valid. And the second part is what? Beside ibadat we have mu'amalat. Mu'amalat such as what? Contracts, such as purchasing, business contracts, rent, marriage, divorce, child custody. We assume that their conduct and performance is correct. This is basically the essence of this maxim. Now, does the maxim apply only to Muslims? To some Muslims, all Muslims? All Muslims. Only to Muslims, or it applies to non-Muslims too?
Only to Muslims. Well, mu'amalat toward others?
Yes.
So it could...
Whether it is among themselves or with others. Does it apply to the non-Muslims too? We assume that their conduct is correct.
And the Muslims, how do you relate to non-Muslims or non-Muslims?
No. Let's say a couple came, they are Christians, non-Muslims, and they married each other. Do we assume that their marriage is legitimate? As a result of that, the child is legitimate?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Why?
Because they are a human being. Most of the scholars, they say, this maxim applies to them too. Because if it doesn't apply to them again, you're going to have a problem. Because you are dealing with them. Imagine yourself living in America and you assume every conduct they do is wrong or mistaken or has an error.
No, but I guess what if they're not following to the fiqh rule? Like if they have a Christian...
Exactly. Yeah. They according to their owns. This is why. If a couple, they come and they want to convert, they are married, do we tell them renew your marriage vow?
Oh.
We don't.
Okay.
What they did in the past, we assume it's correct. So we accept and agree upon their marriage, even though it was not Islamic according to the church, but we accept it. And we have a qaida actually, specifically related to marriage. It's called, that maxim is called, لِكُلِّ قَوْمٍ نِكَاحٍ. For every community, for every qawm, qawm means community or people, there is a sort of marriage which is accepted by Islam. Islam endorses it, even though it's non-Islamic.
What about saying non-religious?
Or even divorce. Let's say divorce. This happens. I will answer you. Many people, they come to me, they want to marry an American lady who's divorced from her husband or separated. So I ask, is she just separated or divorced? If she's just separated, you cannot marry her because she's still married to him. But if she's divorced from him, yes, you can marry her because we respect their contracts. We respect it, whether it's marriage or divorce or business, we respect it. Yeah, Ali, Dr. Ali, sorry about that.
I was going to ask,
About
If it's not religious.
You always ask about marriage,
Not
so
religious.
yeah.
How about it's like, let's say they say legally at the court we got married, but not, they're not religious.
They don't go
No
to
Christian,
church.
no Jewish, no Muslim.
Okay, so secular
Yeah, okay.
marriage.
Yeah.
If both are secular, and they did it in the court or in the city hall, then they are married until they do their divorce in the court or the city hall too.
They're married until then. Okay, so they're valid. So it's valid.
Valid, of course, of course. Even if they did not do it in the church.
Okay.
Even if they did not do it in the church, both of them agreed we would not do it in the church.
Okay.
We will do it in the city hall. We would recognize it. But when it comes to Muslims, we don't recognize it. They have to do it Islamically. It doesn't matter, it's in the court, city hall, but they have to do the Islamic one too.
Okay. It's a
This
Muslim.
applies only to non-Muslims. Non-Muslims, if they only do it in the city hall, in the secular, according to the American law, we recognize it. So as long as they have not divorced legally, we consider them to be married.
The reason I asked last week is basically that some people, let's say, are separated for like 10 years.
Yes.
Their divorce thing goes on and on. And
Absolutely.
On. So let's say at the church, do they get divorced at the church too, or how does that work?
The Catholic, not. With a special decree. The Catholic, they have to send it to the Vatican. It takes some time to come back. But the Protestant, yes, they do it. However, we've seen these cases. Someone comes to me, he's dating an American lady who tells him they were married in the city hall, but they did not apply for divorce. They are separated, but they did not do formal divorce. So can he marry her? The answer is no. No, he cannot marry her.
But she's not a divorced.
And she tells him, my husband, he just left me. I'm divorced. I'm not related to him anymore. But unless they do it formally in the city hall or the church, if it is done in the church, then she's going to be khaliya. Khaliya means free, with no marital relationship. And we faced this. When I came to this country 25 years ago, there was a wave of refugees coming from Iraq, from other Muslim countries. And, they see someone at the DMV at, whatever. One of them, I told you, one of them saw a patrol officer. She gave him citation because of speeding, and then they fall in love with each other, and he married her. So some of those are separated. And she tells him, I had a husband, but yes, if you had a boyfriend and you did not record or register your marriage in the city hall, then you leave him, it's okay. You left him. But you have to have iddah too, waiting period. You have to have iddah. Okay? But if they have registered it, they only have to annul that. They have to void it by doing divorce.
But if they do that in the court, let's say, but not at the church.
Either way. It has to be done in a formal way, recognized way. They have to have paper, either in the church or the city hall.
Because to me, it seems like, let's say they say we got divorced at the city hall.
Yeah.
But unless they did it with the church, let's say, or send it to the Vatican, like you said, it seems like it's still not.
Have not done divorce.
Yeah.
The Catholic ones, yes. But the Protestant, I believe, the Catholic, the devout ones, the religious ones, they have to get the formal divorce. And it has to be authorized by the Vatican. It takes time. But the Protestant, no. They say only in the city hall.
So even if a Catholic woman, let's say, converts to Islam, but she got divorced only in the court, not at the Vatican, and now she's a Muslim man,
Yeah.
what happens there?
Then still she has to get the divorce from the Vatican.
Wow, and that takes long.
Because she married in a Catholic way.
Yeah,
Therefore, she has to be divorced in a Catholic way too.
right.
In a Catholic way.
Exactly.
Though there is a law,
Yeah.
another law, which is being modified in America. I tell you the raw one and the modified one. The raw one says that as soon as one party accepts Islam, is separated automatically from the other one who did not accept Islam, whether male or female.
This is the wrong one, the old one.
But the modified one that many scholars are discussing it here in this country is that it can't happen. It can't happen because the conversion, yes, maybe back home 200 years ago, both of them had to be Muslim. But here, no, sometimes they live, you know.
Yeah, that was my question. Yeah.
So here they are modifying it that if she was married to him already, she's not separated. But he cannot marry from the beginning as a new. He cannot initiate a new marriage. But if it was existing marriage, they stay with each other. They still stay with each other. For instance, if she became Muslim, her husband did not. The modified one says she still stays with him because she was in an existing marriage when she accepted Islam.
Yeah, and because we do recognize that it kind of makes sense that you.
Yeah, you cannot demolish the family. They say you can. They have kids. Even if they don't have kids, you cannot demolish the family.
You know.
Okay? So this one applies to the non-Muslims. Their conduct also is recognized as being zabiha, as being, sahih, correct, yeah.
Excuse me. So
Yes, yes.
If the woman converts, let's say there's a Jewish couple, the woman converts, is Muslim now, and so she doesn't want to have intimate relationship with her husband anymore because he's a Jew. Is this a valid?
According to the modified one, they say she's still married to him and she has to honor her marital obligations and duties. But according to the raw one, the original law, it says immediately they separate. Immediately they separate from each other.
That seems like different though. Now there's a different.
Yeah.
It seems like she
Many
should-
of these rules are being modified. Many of these rules that pertains to marriage, to divorce, to child custody. For instance, child custody, the original version of it is once they get divorced, the wife, she takes care of the son until the age of 2. After 2, automatically goes to his dad. And the female up to the age of 7. After that, automatically she goes to the custody of her dad. Now here we don't do this. It could be the mother more qualified, the dad, for
public
instance.
opinion here,
Yeah, not just public opinion, we assess the situation. If the dad is a corrupt person, we don't send the kids, even if they are 15 years old. Until they reach the age where they choose, the age of maturity. They say, I want to stay with my dad. I want to stay with my mother. Or sometimes the mother is not qualified. She is disqualified. She does something terrible, bad, which really is going to have an adverse impact on her kids. So they take them from her, even if they are less than 2 years old. She's not qualified. But the original law says the boy 2 years, the girl 7 years. And then automatically they go to the father's custody. So these things, many things are being revised and renewed here in the West to pertain to our life. And this is the good thing about the Islamic law. Islamic law mostly is flexible, follows the collective interest of the society. The collective interest of the society. Okay? So it applies to non-Muslims. Now, when do we assume that it is sahih, valid? When? At what case we assume that the conduct of Muslims and non-Muslims is correct? In the case of what? In the case of shak, doubt. In the case of doubt, when doubt comes to my mind that this man did he do his prayers correctly or not? Was his wudu, he just left the bathroom, did he do the wudu correctly or not? I have to say yes. The purchase he did, was it correct, legitimate or not? I have to say yes. The divorce that he did to his wife, if a wife comes and says, my husband divorced me, should we say, listen, let's investigate. Did he do it the right way or the wrong way? No, you don't have to investigate. That's it. Okay? We assume that his divorce was correct, or the marriage, or the purchase, or the rent, or whatever. Now, but here there is something important. ويكون متعلق الشك في القاعدة هو صحة العمل بعد إحراز أصل العمل. How do we assume that it is correct or valid? After we know for sure that the thing has been conducted. Once we know it has been conducted, then we judge it as correct. Okay? بعد إحراز أصل العمل. So the asl, the thing has to be done, then we say it's correct. So not in all cases. Not in all cases. Either someone says, yeah, he was praying, or I saw him praying, then I say he's correct.
So it has to be in the past.
Yes, exactly. Or we will come and see, not necessarily in the past. In the past and in the middle. This is the difference between two maxims. The maxim of faragh, we will come to it soon. I don't want to mix up. There are similarities and differences. We will come to these two maxims, the maxim of finishing and the maxim of validity. I will explain it later on, inshallah. Then, now what are the evidence? Let's go to the evidence of this evidences. Number one evidence, there is ayah in the Quran. So we bring the ayah first. If we have ayah, we bring the ayah. If we don't have ayah, we go to the second step, which is hadith. Where is the ayah? Ayah in chapter 49. Chapter 49, what chapter is that? No, Hujurat. 49, 12. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اجتنبوا كثيرا من الظن إن بعض الظن إثم. Who you believe, avoid much suspicion, for some of the suspicion is abomination or a sin. Avoid all suspicion because some of it, see, this is the beauty of it. Avoid it 100% because maybe 20% of it is bad. So you have to avoid all of it. This says that it means when you think about people, listen to me, please. This is very daqiq, this is very precise. Here you become faqih. When you pay attention, believe me, it's very delicate. Very, very delicate. The ayah says, basically, what does it say? It says, think good of the people. اجتنبوا كثيرا من الظن. Don't be suspicious of people. So that applies to this. But the author says it doesn't apply.
What was the occasion in which this ayah was? What was the intent or the purpose?
Surah Al-Hujurat, because there were rumors in the community, the society, backbiting, spying. So it addresses all these things. وَلَا تَجَسَّسُوا وَلَا يَغْتَبْ بَعْضُكُمْ بَعْضًا أَيُحِبُّ أَحَدُكُمْ. One of the most beautiful chapters in the Quran, 49. Exactly, it's all about akhlaq. So it came to address these issues. Now, listen to me. The ayah says, think good. Think good of people. Now, does it apply to this? The author says no. You have to be delicate. You have to be precise. Daqiq. Why? Because the ayah says, think good of them. Not necessarily think sahih, that their work was good. God is not saying their work is definitely good. No, sometimes it's wrong, but you think good of them. So it does not apply. Though many scholars, they use this ayah, but when you analyze it precisely, it does not apply. The ayah says, think good.
Yeah.
Give them the benefit of the doubt. But it does not say 100% what they did or said was sahih. No, sometimes it's wrong, but you think good of them.
Yeah.
So this ayah does not apply. We go to the hadith.
So say then we can't use it as an
No,
evidence?
no, no.
But we put it as an evidence.
Yeah, but we are discussing it.
Oh, okay.
They put it. Some scholars, they still put it. Our scholar is very precise.
Oh, I see.
He's analytic. His analysis, it says, it does not. لأن حسن الظن لا يساوق الصحة. حسن الظن, thinking good, حسن الظن, thinking good, is not equal to الصحة, validity. It's not equal. It does not necessarily equal that he did correct. I am thinking good of him. Maybe he did wrong. So it doesn't. This one does not apply. We come to the riwayat now. So the first riwayah is موثقة. What is موثقة, my friends? موثقة اليماني عن أبي عبد الله إمام الصادق. موثقة اليماني on behalf of Imam al-Sadiq. What is موثقة?
Trustworthy.
Yeah, what does it mean?
In the Imami school?
Yeah, we said صحيحة and موثقة. What's the difference between them?
Oh,
What does
Shia.
موثقة.
What does anybody?
Yeah,
صحيحة is. صحيحة, all the narrators are imamis. موثقة, one or two of them could be none, but they are trustworthy. Okay. What does it say? موثقة. إذا اتهم المؤمن أخاه, once a believer accuses his brother in faith, أخاه means his brother in faith, إن ماث الإيمان من قلبه, faith is going to dissolve away from his heart. When you accuse your brother in faith, when you accuse him, faith is going to dissolve away, leaves your heart, exit your heart. كما ينماث الملح في الماء, exactly the same way that the salt is dissolved in the water. Faith is going to dissolve when you accuse your brother. So they say it means that consider every action of him is correct. Now again, when you examine it, does it exactly apply to this?
Not necessarily.
Why? Tell me why. When you say no, tell me why.
Well, he's saying, can you repeat the translation?
The translation, it says, إذا اتهم المؤمن أخاه, once a believer accuses his brother or sister, the faith is going to dissolve away from his heart as the salt dissolves in the cup of water.
So he's not saying that it's sahih, that it's correct. He's just saying you're accusing somebody.
Exactly.
without doubt, but there's nothing there to point to.
The muwathaqa is trying to say what? To say, don't accuse. It says, don't accuse. Doesn't necessarily say he did right or wrong. No. It's saying you don't accuse. Don't accuse. So it does not apply to this. It's not saying you have to assume every conduct of your brother is correct. No. It is saying don't accuse. Don't teach yourself, train yourself to accuse people. Don't. This is not a good habit. Think good of people. Okay?
Does it mean don't judge?
Don't judge. Exactly. Don't
Negatively.
judge. Don't judge negatively. Yes. Yes.
Which imam is this from?
Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam. Okay? So again, this one is not a solid evidence. We come to number 3. See, my friends, this is the benefit of this class. We are not just studying halal or haram. This is halal, this is haram, this is mustahab, this is... No. we are analyzing the evidences, ayat and riwayat, we analyze them to see how fuqaha, the jurist, how they use them. Are they using them precisely or sometimes loosely, unfortunately? This is the difference between faqih who's sharp and faqih who's not very sharp. The one who's sharp, he says, no, listen. Yes, it is muwathaqa, it's a good riwayah, but it's not addressing my situation here. I want something to hit, boom, the target. Okay, let's go to number 3. Number 3, the hadith of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Imam Ali alayhi salam. It says, ضع أمر أخيك على أحسنه. ضع, put أمر أخيك, your brother على أحسنه. Put or assume or take the affair of your brother at its best. At its best. Judge it at its best. Not at its worst. So if he speaks, say he's telling the truth. Okay? If he, peeks into the thingy, he wants to see inside the room, say inshallah he wants to see whether there is a thief there or he's not looking at a woman or something like that. If you see him, let's say, in sex shop, say inshallah he's going to admonish the people not to do that, Yeah, it's like Jesus. Jesus, when he went to the brothel, so the disciples, they were passing and they saw him coming out. They said, even you go here? He said, listen, I'm like a physician. Sometimes a physician, people come to him, sometimes they cannot come. He has to go to the patients. So we assume always he's our brother. We should not accuse him. Always we give him the benefit of the doubt. Now, does this hadith of Imam Ali alayhi salam apply to this? This time, yes. Huh?
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, this one applies.
How about you? Oh, what
The
is it?
first translation I accepted, the second one I got a little doubtful, but yeah, because it says at its best.
At its best. At its best.
means-
Ala ahsanihi. At its best, yes.
Say, the Maxims, these were created during the Imam's time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah,
these-
because these are their hadiths,
right.
sayings.
And the evidences, though, were these actual evidences that were trying to prove Maxim and then they were rejected? So is this...
They established the hadith to give us the maxim, to produce maxims, yes. Okay? And then, but we study the analytical studying to see whether this could be used in a specific situation, or we could generalize it and stretch it to other situations.
So some people used, like number one, the ayah that you just talked about. Some people...
Yeah, they
brought
used
up
them.
before,
Use-
and then
They used them. But our author, this is fantastic, man. He did a great research. When he reviews it, he says, no, in my opinion, these ayah, the riwayat, do not apply because they are not precise.
So some Shia accept them, though. Some Shia will accept
Some
them.
scholars, they
Right,
accept.
yeah.
But my friends, sorry, even this one does not apply. Because what does it say?
Still doesn't say it's sahih.
Did not say sahih. It says use the best judgment, but did not say necessarily what he did was correct. No. Because I don't know. I really don't know. This is the state of doubt. So in the state of doubt, what is my duty? Is to give him the benefit of the doubt. But whether he did it good or right, this is none of my business. This is none of my business. In fact, it tells me don't investigate. Don't go after him to see whether he did it good or bad. This is none of your business. Give him the benefit of the doubt. Assume it's good. But it does not mean that it's necessarily what he did was correct. It could be incorrect. Are you with me? Are you with me? Did you understand this point?
Yeah,
Because
but-
there is a delicate difference, between not giving you the benefit of the doubt or saying you did correct. I'm not saying what you did correct. I'm saying I am giving you the benefit of the doubt.
But that's what the maxim tells us, that's what it's telling us. When there's doubt, you know.
But I'm studying the evidence. Based on what evidence? We have to know the evidence.
But number 3 seems general enough to maybe apply. Like it seems it's very general.
But does it apply to all cases?
I mean,
When I give benefit of doubt, there's 300 people here in the mosque. Mu'mineen, all of them mu'mineen, okay? All of them are brothers and sisters. Can I swear, put my book in the Quran and say all the wudu they did wudu today, all of them are correct?
no, you can't.
I can't say that.
Based on this, you can.
I can?
Based on this, you cannot. Based on number 3.
I cannot. But then I say this is none of my business. I should not go after their wudu and this is none of my business. I assume it's correct.
Right.
But I can't affirm it 100%. I can't take an oath, qasam, and say, yes, wallah al-azim, all of them. No. Religion tells me take it easy. Take it easy. Doesn't mean that they did it correctly.
But the
Religion tells me, this tells me, assume it is correct until you see. You see it, they did it incorrect. Then you say it's incorrect. Then you say it's incorrect.
300 people come in and they prayed, you assume that they did their wudu right.
Yeah, I assume.
Yeah.
But does that mean in reality all of them they did?
No.
It could be even the Imam's wudu was not correct. Who knows?
No. So you assume the Imam does it right,
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah, we assume that it's right, but it's not. In fact, it's not telling me that I am telling you 100% they are correct. No, I just assume that.
Right.
I don't open this chapter. I don't want to discuss it. I don't want to invest. This is what it tells me. Don't investigate. This is none of your business to go and investigate to see, to double check to see whether people did it right or wrong.
The maxims.
Yeah, this is the maxim.
Yeah.
The maxim says, I want to make your life easy. I want to spread the culture of trust and respect. So I am telling you, assume what people are doing is correct until proven otherwise. Until proven otherwise.
And isn't that the whole concept of the first, the Surah Al-Hujurat, is the same thing, right?
Yes. Surah Al-Hujurat, the same thing. But it does not mean they did it correctly.
Correct. Yeah.
Surah Al-Hujurat says, I want you to have husnul dhan. Think beautiful about people. It doesn't mean Surah Al-Hujurat, what people did is correct always. No, it's not saying that. We have to be very precise. The essence of Surah Al-Hujurat is think good, nicely. But it's not affirming that everything people are doing is correct. No way. It's impossible. It's impossible.
See, I'm sorry, I think that's the problem here, I guess I'm trying to figure out, is that we're not trying to assume, right? I mean, we're not trying to find the evidence that they did it correct. We're just trusting that they did it correct.
Exactly. So my job, I don't go and dig and tell him, listen, show me how did you do wudu. This is none of my job. This is none of my job.
Right.
That's it. Or he's wearing something, a dress. I assume it's tahir.
Right.
I don't even have to ask him, okay, is this coat tahir? This is not good. Or your pants, your shoes, your shirt. This is none of my business. I assume it's tahir. Okay? Now, then where is the evidence? See, Amir al-Mu'mineen says, أحسنه. What is the opposite of ahsan? Opposite. Hasan. Hasan is good. What is the opposite of it? Qabih. Qabih. Okay? He didn't say sahih. See, there is a difference between saying sahih. Sahih is khata. The opposite is khata. So the opposite of this, Amir al-Mu'mineen says, don't put the affair of your brother at something wrong or illegal or ugly. Okay, ugly. This is what he said. But he did not say always assume it is sahih. No. He did not say ala asahhihi. If he says ala asahhihi, it comes from sahih. It means always he's correct. But he's not saying that. He's saying ahsanihi. Ahsani. This is the difference. Because definitely Amir al-Mu'mineen and God above them, they know that not everything people do is correct. Maybe 50% of them, 70% of them are incorrect. But we have, our responsibility is to assume that it is correct.
Say, could you use the evidence?
Let me tell you something. You know, when I go to Mecca, Masjid al-Haram, you know how many people walk barefoot? You know in the tawaf how many people urinate? They cannot control themselves. How many women they menstruate? You know how much blood and urine? But they say when you are doing tawaf and you step on something, assume it's tahir. Don't just go on there and say, hey. No. Unless you see the blood. Once you see, you see. You have ilm. But if you step, this is what I advise people. They say it today, I stepped on something and I tell her, it's tahir. It's tahir. Unless you know this is urine, then urine. Stop your tawaf, clean yourself, come back. Or blood. But if you don't, walk. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Carry on. Even the carpet in the mosque. What do we know? People go to the bathroom barefoot with wet feet. They come on the carpet. You know, if you want me to take an oath, I tell you it's najis. But with religion, following the rules of religion, I say it's tahir. It's tahir. Because I don't have ilm. I have suspicion. Yes, I have suspicion that it's not tahir. But I don't have ilm. Once I have ilm, meaning I saw it with my eyes, or someone trustworthy told me, then I consider it najis. Otherwise, I consider every masjid is tahir. Every masjid is tahir.
Say, can we use the evidence, whatever proves the principle in hadith, when we do hadith evaluation, somebody is thiqa or muwatta, that we assume that it's correct? Can we use that same logic here in saying that if that's the case, then it applies here as well?
If he is thiqa and telling
And
me...
hadith, so when we look at hadith, like when we put it in...
Okay.
So when we see hadith that comes from a chain of thiqa people, or a group
Trustworthy, okay.
Right. We assume that hadith is correct, we accept it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So can't we apply that same principle here with the principle of validity?
No. Listen, it has proven that this is correct, but not through this. Actually, some of the fuqaha, they say, no, it's used, this is evidence. Our author is very strict. He's saying no. But he has an evidence. We will come to it.
There is one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not baseless. We have an evidence. If we just wait, I will tell you the evidence. Now,
Could these be supplementary to the evidence, not evidence, but sort of additions or?
yeah, we have. Now, after Kitab and Sunnah, what comes next?
Logic, the behavior of the people at the time,
Or
their action.
ijma'.
Oh, ijma', yeah.
Ijma', not jima'. Don't say jima'. Jima' is intercourse. So please don't say jima'. Ijma'. You have to put ijma'. Yeah, be careful, because one day you go to the, I know about Islam and this is jama'. They tell, no, please. They take you to jail, huh? If you say, I did jama' on this, khalas. Call the American embassy, he's detained in Saudi Arabia. So ijma'. Ijma', some people said, evidence number 4 is ijma'. Ijma' is consensus, okay? Is the consensus. Consensus of whom? Huh? Exactly. Ijma'. Consensus of jurists, fuqaha. According to Al-Fadl al-Naraqi, that المتمسكين بهذه القاعدة, those who introduced this maxim, they say the evidence is the ijma' of the scholars. The ijma' of the scholars that the Quran states so and the hadith. But then we already examined them and we saw that neither the Quran nor the hadith is precise. They are not addressing what I am asking for. I'm asking for something very precise. They didn't answer me. They did not address me. They addressed something else. They addressed the issue of don't be suspicious about people. Always think good. But that does not mean this is different with people doing correct. This is different.
Same question. The maxim, okay, let's say the principle is, it was introduced by the imams. Why are we looking for proofs? If they should have gave it to them right there, right? Like when they introduced the maxim, here's why, right? They would have had some sort of ayat or hadith at the time to...
Yeah, the main thing is the hadith. We will come to this. We will come to this. Believe me, we will come. So what is the next? So the ijma' does not work.
Oh, ijma does not work?
Number 4, no?
Oh, so we don't have ijma.
No.
Oh.
No.
And in
Because he
Shia,
says,
they don't really believe in-
والتحقيق أن الإجماع التعبدي مع الاستناد للآية والرواية غير محصل. Even we could غير محصل, it's not obtained. Still, if you base it on this ayah and the riwayat, it's not.
How about al-aql, like logic?
Then where do we go? We go to what you said earlier. What did you say?
The behavior of the people of...
Siratul, the tradition, the conduct, sirah of the devout. Mutasharra'a, or some people say uqala. Sira al-uqala'iyya. Have you heard this in the previous years? Have you heard this? Let me put it down here. Siratul uqala. Sira or as-sira al-uqala'iyya. As-sira al-uqala'iyya. Or siratul uqala. The conduct or the tradition of the rational or the devout, or siratul mutasharri'a. Siratul mutasharri'a, which means the conduct of the devout. Okay? Either uqala or mutasharri'a. Now, when we examine it, we find that from the time of the imams, listen to this, this is very important. Not just contemporary recently, no. From the time of our imams, our infallible imams, from their own time, the understanding was when someone does something, we consider his conduct or her conduct, if they are mutasharri'a or uqala, we consider his or her conduct to be correct. This is the tradition. This is the protocol, if you will, from the time of the imams. Now, if that was not good, the imam will notify us. Because what is sunnah? We explained in Ilm al-Usul. What is the meaning of sunnah? Sunnah is qawl, spoken, verbal, or action, or consent. You do something before the Prophet did not say to you, this is wrong. It means it is right. Because if it was wrong, the Prophet has the duty. The Prophet is different than us. Maybe I walk by, I see something wrong, I don't interfere. But the Prophet, his job to correct, to fix. He cannot remain silent. So during the time of the Prophet and the Imams, they never questioned the conduct of people. They never. They accepted it at face value. This is the seerah, the tradition of the uqala and mutasharri'ah. This is the strongest evidence upon this, for this principle. This is much stronger than the ayat and the riwayat.
But it'd be difficult sometimes during the imam's times when they were, let's say, practicing taqiyya,
No.
where they can't.
Exactly. They discuss this issue. Sometimes the imam gives two different answers to two different people. Then they find out that one of them was a spy. Or when the imam was saying to someone, there was a spy, but in the next session where the imam said it correctly, there was no spy. Yes. But this is above that. This is beyond that.
Right.
This is beyond that. The imams always, all of them, unanimously, they accepted the conduct of the public. They never questioned that. Unless there is a reason. Unless someone, let's say, he always his habit does something wrong. I have this example. When I came to this country, I knew nothing about America. So there was a friend who was, very loose, alhamdulillah. When I ask him about something, he says this way. Believe me, I discovered it's that way. Always opposite. Everything he said. If he says it's night, I find out no, it's still day. If he says this is Shawwal, I find out this is the Qa'dah actually. MashaAllah, this is most of the time, not always, 90%. 90% of his answers, his directions were wrong.
At least he was consistent.
Alhamdulillah, he was consistent in saying wrong. So in that case, this is an exception. This is an exception. This has a problem. Someone who has a problem, he's used to say something wrong, always wrong. These are exceptions, but we speak about normal cases or the norm. The norm, we assume their conduct, their behavior, their transactions, their contracts, their worshipping are correct, and this has been widely accepted.
So in the case of this, is it let's say the absence of evidence? So meaning that since there was nothing documented, we accept it because there was an absence of evidence, meaning there was no documented
No. See,
contrary to this?
no, Dr. Umid. Many scholars, they accepted the evidences that we showed, the ayah and the riwayah.
No, I'm talking about specifically
Yeah.
these two.
Yeah. I know. But let me say, many jurists, they accepted the ayah and the 2 or 3 riwayah as an evidence to this. But someone who's very sharp-minded, he says, no, I'm not convinced. Bring me something else. Bring me another stronger evidence. So this one is the strongest. According to our author, our scholar, he says this one is stronger than the ayat.
No, but what I'm saying is with this one, because we don't have any hadith to say that these rational behavior, there wasn't any specific incidents that happened.
Dr. Umid, remember, what was the sunnah? Was it only sayings?
No, consent.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I'm
So
saying
consent,
we should have
the consent, it's in the same level with the action and the saying. It's in the same level. It could be sayings, it could be action, it could be consent. So the consent of the imams was to accept this, to endorse this, whatever the society, whatever this society, this متشرعة and عقلاء are agreed upon, the imam says, okay. It means the imam is among them. His opinion is also among them.
I just have a question.
This one, Sira al-Uqala'iyya, is considered something not small, something very vital. Siratul Uqala. Let's look at their, sometimes you look at what they said, sometimes you look at what they did. You examine their life and you find all of them, they have consensus upon this. Maybe it was silent, they didn't speak it, but they did it. Sira al-Uqala'iyya is powerful, one of the most powerful tools of legislation. Sira al-Uqala'iyya.
So
Yes, Dr. Ali.
It's probably not correct what I'm going to ask right now, but does that make, let's say, the maxim of the principle of, let's say, purity stronger than this one because it has more of...
No. Because again, this one, it has evidence in the Quran and the Hadith. It has. Some people say, listen, even if I don't have this, one ayah suffices me. I depend on one ayah. Or one hadith suffices me. In this class, we play devil advocate.
Right, we're just looking how we analyze.
We are not satisfied with one or two answers. We'd like to discuss this thoroughly, the evidences thoroughly, and try to find faults. This is a good way of learning, when you try to find weakness. If you accept any hadith, then it means you are shallow. You don't think about it. What they teach us in fiqh is to be precise. They say the arrow has to hit the heart of the target, the heart. Bring me something solid. Solid. Though you can use the previous, you still can use them. But when you analyze them delicately, they are not very sharp.
So say the Sirat al-Uqalayya is basically, so that's all logic then. It's a conduct of them, but it's the logic of the people that were.
Yeah.
So it's
Sira al-Uqalayya, it means the society, the general norm of the society during the time of the Imams is that when someone, let's say, he said, I got married, I married this lady. They would not question him, listen, show me how did you marry her? Okay. Or they would not go to the lady and say, but maybe she has a husband already. They would not say that. Or if he says, I purchased this house, I purchased this camel, I purchased this, they don't say, how did you purchase it? How do you know that this was the owner? Maybe he's not the owner, he's pretending to be the owner. They don't say that. They assume that it's correct. Unless proven otherwise. If it is proven otherwise, then there is a proof. But if it is not proven otherwise, we accept it as it is. And we assume the contract, the marriage, the purchase, the prayers, the zakat, the hajj is correct. The example that I gave, some father-in-laws, when they want to marry their daughter, he says, go and do hajj. First go and do your hajj, go and seek forgiveness for your sins, then come and marry my daughter. Now he does the hajj, and he comes back. Can the father-in-law tells him, maybe there was something wrong in your sa'i. Maybe your salat of tawaf, you didn't do it correctly. You cannot say that. Leave him, he did. Huh?
Doesn't like him, it seems.
To tell you something, to tell you the truth, I've been to Hajj 40 times. If you asked me at the end of the trip, Sayyid, can you make an oath that all those Hujjaj, their Hajj is correct? I tell you, I take an oath that all of them are wrong, believe me. But then Allah accepted. Khalas. This is why I tell them in Hajj, don't come and tell me, Sayyid, I touched here, I touched there. Don't, khalas, Hajj. Hajj, because if you want to stop at each and every one, believe me, you will find the faults. Islam tells me, move on. Don't do waswas. These are satanic whispering that maybe my fasting wasn't, maybe my qira'ah. Some people, they stand in the prayers 2 hours. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. And then he says, no, maybe this is wrong. Then he keeps it. Islam says, take it easy, khalas, it's in your heart. Yes, you have to take care of your qira'ah, try to fix it. But don't be over what? Compulsive. Ahsant. Don't be. Or some people, they come to me in Ramadan, say, I did not do the niyyah last night. I tell him, aren't you aware that this is Ramadan? Yes. Aren't you aware that you have to fast tomorrow? He says, khalas, this is the niyyah. This is the niyyah. In Hajj and Umrah, when we do the niyyah of the jamarat, let's say, or the tawaf, or some men or women, they come to me, Sayyid, repeat it again for me. I repeat, Sayyid, can you say it? I didn't pay attention. Tell him, Baba, go do it. We can't afford, These are waswas, yeah. وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين.